So let's set up the best settings for Zoho. So Zoho is a place where you can check your email that has your domain name. So any email that has your domain name, Zoho is a free site where you can set that up and check your emails. It's like Google G Suite, but a free version of it. So in the previous video, I did show how to get an email with your own domain name for free. So check that out if you haven't seen it. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to set it up with Zoho because there's some settings that you have to use because it is kind of confusing. Now, I actually made a video previously that showed how to do that. In that video, I showed all the settings and I also showed how to do it on the phone. But very recently, I was online and let me show you in a second. So I was online and let me go to a regular account that I have. And let me just log in. I'm gonna show you how to log in a little bit, but I just wanna show you this. So this is just one of the random emails that I have with Zoho. So I went to one of the random emails that I had and I went to the settings section and there was like a red dot at the settings section. I clicked on it and now it says, explore new settings is now easier than ever to configure your mailbox with improved navigation and search options. And it says, take a look or dismiss. I ended up clicking dismiss and I just clicked there. And when I clicked there, these options pulled up. And now these are brand new options that Zoho has. And in the previous video, I was showing the previous settings that they had, and they had it for years. And it always happens, like every time like I make a video, maybe it's on Shopify or maybe it's a website or WordPress, it has like the old settings that's been there for years. And then somehow, some way, maybe like a month or two later, all of a sudden the settings completely change. The whole UI, the user interface changes, and now what was there before is no longer applicable. And that's exactly what happened in this situation. So I had to make another video, which is this video that shows how to set up Zoho using these new settings that are there. The settings are the same, it's just that the location of it is different. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And then afterwards, I'm going to show you the mobile version, but the mobile version I'm going to show you was going to be from my previous video that I made that showed how to do the mobile version. Those options are still the same. So I'm going to stitch that old video that I did, which is no longer online. I'm going to stitch that to the end of this particular video that's going to show the new way to use Zoho. But this is the July 2022 version of Zoho, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I hope all that made sense. So now let's go to Zoho. So to do that, you want to go in your web browser and type in mail.zoho.com. Mail.zoho.com. So you'll go here and then on the top right, you want to click on sign in. So click on sign in on the top right. So now in the previous video, I made a email that was support@WTRnewsstore.com. It was a Shopify store that I had. It's not online anymore, but it was a store that I had. So go to support.wtrnewsstore or support at your domain name, whatever domain name you had. Use that and then your password. So make sure you put your password in. It's going to ask you all this, say never, I don't want to save it. So it's going to ask you to do two-factor authentication. Can I say that right? All right, so it's going to ask you to do that. I usually say to do it with your mobile number and it will save your verification code, but I'm not going to do that right now, but you can. And basically what that means is when you log in, it's going to ask you to confirm it with another way. And your mobile number is another way that you can do that. So basically no spammers can go into your account. I'm going to skip that, but I will definitely do this if you can, if you want more security. But I'm going to click on remind me later on the bottom right on the gray text that's very, very faint. So now I'm in my Zoho account. So like I said before, I did make a video showing how to do this previously. So I was able to actually configure the settings. So what I want you to do really is I just want you to copy the settings that I have. I'm going to go through everything and I want you just to copy the settings. Your settings will definitely be different as I go through this, but just copy the ones that I have and it will make perfect sense. All right, so right here, I want to go to the top right and I want to click on settings. And you can see that dot there. And that was that explore new settings thing I was talking about. And they decided to change it up on us because that's what tech companies do. Developers ain't got nothing to do. So, anyway, go to dismiss. I used to be a software tester, so I know how it is. So go to settings and click on settings on the top right. All right, so now you have all these options. You have mail, you have calendar. So we're gonna go through really the mail options. Under mail, there's general, keyboard, shortcuts, integrations, presets, and then there are all these options on the bottom. So we're gonna go through these one by one. And if you don't have an option that looks exactly how I look like, go ahead and switch yours. All right, so let's start with system. System is already highlighted. So I'm sure with yours, it's gonna say continue where I left. But what you wanna do is you wanna do land me in inbox. So make sure that mail is highlighted and inbox is highlighted. Your display language, obviously put your language there. Your font options. So your font family, you want to select Arial. I don't know what's there before, but make sure Arial is selected. Font size, browser, that's fine. Now your theme, you can have a dark theme. It's dark on the left side, right here. Or you can make it light, or you can make it white. So here's the white version right there. If you see the background of that, let me actually click away from there. So that's the white version right there. Let me actually go back to this little gear where it says settings. Let me go down and let me actually go to dark. And you can also change the color of the theme that you want. So you can definitely choose whatever you want. Light or night mode. Night mode looks like that. Light mode looks like that. And there's system settings. I like to do light mode. That's definitely there. On my phone, I use night mode though. But on the desktop, I like light mode. All right, let me continue to go down. Let's see, desktop notifications. I would uncheck that if it's checked, uncheck that. Notification tone. You can have a tone if you want to. Desktop alerts for new emails and stuff like that. You can have a notification tone, but since I turn off notification, it doesn't even matter. Streams tone, nope, don't have anything there. All right, so now create smart create menu. So from here, enable smart create menu. If that's checked, I think it was, go ahead and uncheck that. Smart highlight. You can keep that checked. Banner message, you can keep that checked if you want. That shows like important updates from Zoho. You can keep that checked, that's completely fine. The mail to boom, boom, boom. I'll skip this. Secure your downloads, secure all downloads with passwords. So if you send an email and it has an attachment and you don't want nobody to download the attachments that you send your email without a password, you can click that and have a password set up. But I'm not gonna do that, I leave that unchecked. I put this junk cleanup in 30 days, basically what's in your spam and trash folders, 30 days, that's fine. Your button labels, icon with text, and system preferences, show pop-up, or setting preferences, show pop-up or open up a new tab. So this is the setting preferences. So if you want this to show up in a pop-up like right now, that's fine. If you want it to open up a new tab, which will be like, I'll show you, open a new tab. And let me click this. And if I was to go back to settings, it opens up a new tab like that. So if you want that to happen, which is how it used to be at Zoho, now that I look at it, if you want it to be like that, then you can do that. But if you want it to be a pop-up, then just do show pop-up. I actually like the pop-up version. I think that's pretty fly. Pretty fly. Who says that? All right, so that's that. Boom. So now the next thing is keyboard shortcuts on the left side. So right here, these are shortcuts that you can have to go to different places. That's just for informational purposes. You know, if you want to turn those off, you can select off right there in the top, but I'm not going to do that. So let me keep it on. All right, so now let's go to integrations, which is a lot, but not really a lot, but yeah. All right, so let's go to integrations. So now this part has really changed. There's like more options where you can filter the kind of extension that you want because Zoho has so many extensions. And these are like different like third-party integrations and also first-party made by Zoho that can help the whole Zoho experience be better. But I don't use like 85% of this. I don't think I use anything of this, but yeah. So what I do is on the integrations, make sure extension is highlighted. Then from there, I would go down. This is kind of like the app store of Zoho. It's like the app store of Zoho. So all of these right here will all be enabled. I'm 100% sure of that. Like Zoho Work Drive, Zoho Vault, Zoho subscriptions. Let me actually get out of that. Let me go back down. So let me disable that. There we go. So all the Zoho stuff, disable all of that. All this is disabled. Disable all this. Meeting, invoice, inventory, expense, desk, CRM, click, especially this one right here, the click, disable that. Disable books, assist. So disable all that, make sure all of that is disabled. So then from there, Zendesk, Trello, Slack, you can't enable or disable that. So keep going. Service Desk plus Crowd, that was enabled, disable that. OneDrive, I disable that. Mail Merge, HubSpot, you can't do anything. I think that's a pro version. I think you actually have to pay for Zoho for you to have that. Google Drive, I might keep that. I don't use it, but I might keep it. Full contact, that's fine. Dropbox, I like them, so I keep them. Although I don't really use them with Zoho, but it's an option. Clearbit, Box is pretty good. And Asana, which is collaboration. So as the videos start going by, and depending when you watch this, there's gonna be more extensions. So just go ahead and disable everything that you don't need, and that's that. And then developer space and channels, don't worry about none of that. Go to presets. So this is how you would set your preset. So if you send an email and you want to do a reminder, you can do it every 10 minutes or every 1 hour or whatever that is. And there's a snooze preset right here. I actually don't use that. I don't need it. But yeah, if we do want to do presets for email reminders, you can definitely do that, but I'm going to skip that. So now let's go to the mail view options, which is pretty important. All right, so right here, where do you want to open your message in? So I actually want to open my message in a new tab. So basically what this means is if I was to go to a message right here, so if I was to go to inbox under my folders section, then I will just click on a message and the message opens up in a new tab. And that is exactly what I want to happen, just like that. All right, from there, let's go back to my settings. Let's go to mail view options. New tab is what I selected. You can choose it to open up in a vertical preview or horizontal preview or even in a new window. You can test those out. Just click on it, exit out of it, and then open a new message to see how it looks like. But I prefer new tab. All right, read receipt, say ask me, that's fine. Mark as read options. Mark as read when I open the email. I selected that. There's other options there. If you want to do it, that's there, that's fine. But I like the first option. Load external images. Sometimes it may be at ask me, I guess to save server space and, you know, I guess so it doesn't have, it doesn't overload your email. Let me just say that, but I always put it at always. I always put it at always. So that's fine. Time format, 12 hours, sort folder alphabetically. I like that. Sort tags manually, list attachments, put it below the email, and then show messages with subject only. That's it. So that's like how usually emails would look like. So subject only, that's how I show the messages. Show hide comment box for emails. So if this is selected as show, make sure that's hide, because that's like a very confusing part right there. So make sure that's hide. Mark spam emails. So mark spam email is red. I leave that unchecked. Avoid duplicate copies, leave that unchecked. Some of these look like new options, by the way, since Zoho got updated. These are like, I don't remember seeing this actually, but maybe it was there. I didn't have it selected, so. All right, translate emails. Offer to translate emails in languages other than English. That's fine. And then group emails. Group emails based on time. When enabled, the emails will be grouped as received by today, yesterday, last 7 days. I'm gonna leave it checked for now. So that's the mail view options section. Let's move on to compose. So now this compose part is another situation. Let me actually go to the very top right here. So open compose in new window, new tab, or inline. I like to do new window. So if I was to get out of here and if I was to click on new mail, it opens up in a new window. Boom, boom, that's it. So I actually prefer and I like that. All right, let me get out of there. Let's go back to compose. I think by default, it may say inline or new tab, but I like new window. So editor mode for new emails, rich text, reply emails, rich text. And for replies, use the same email address which the email was sent to. I like that selected. Text direction, LTR, which means left to right. RTL, which is right to left. I think Hebrew text is like right to left, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is. But most everybody does left to right. We'll leave that there. So font options, font family. Make sure the font family is Arial. So make sure it's Arial and the font size is 10. So that is what Gmail's email looks like. That's the font for that. The font color, leave that as it is, that's fine. So Arial 10, that's pretty important. So if I was to get out of here and if I was to go to new email and I was to type, I would say, hey, what's going on? So that's Arial 10 font. You can even say Arial 10 font. So that's the default. All right, so let me discard this draft by clicking that trash can in the top right. Go back to settings. All right, let's go to compose. Let me continue to go down. Outbox delay emails. I have that unchecked. Now undo interval. If this is unchecked, I actually check it and I like to do 5 seconds. So basically after you send your email, wait how many seconds? I say wait 5 seconds before the email actually sends. It basically gives you 5 seconds to rethink what you're about to send. Add recipients, automatically add recipients to contacts. If that's checked, I like to leave that unchecked. Read receipt, I'll leave that unchecked. Shows CC and compose. If this is checked, I think it might be, leave that or uncheck that actually. So uncheck that. So BCC, which means blind carbon copy, I'll leave that unchecked. You can still access that, by the way. So if I was to get out of here, and if I was to go to a new email, what that does basically is right here, you can see CC and BCC. If I was to click that, it would basically access it. But I think by default, it shows CC right here, like by default. And I don't want that. So that was that option of me leaving it unchecked. Let me go back to compose and let me go down to, where was that at? So to show CC compose. By unchecking that, it had the option where you can actually click CC or BCC. That shows there. So boom, boom, boom. All right, suggest frequently use contacts. If that's checked, uncheck that. Reminder to follow up, uncheck that. Smiley autofill option, that's fine, I can do that. Spell check options, that's fine. This might be new actually, I don't remember seeing that. Yeah, I definitely would keep that checked. Spell check auto, and basically the language that you're looking at, that's fine. Huge attachment, ask me yes or no. Ask me is fine. So yeah, these three options actually are the spell check and the huge attachments. These last three options are new options. I don't remember seeing that. All right, let's move forward. So offline, enable offline mail. So continue to read and compose emails when you're offline. Once online, it will automatically sync to the server and send emails started. That's pretty nice. I actually like to check that. Save emails for the last 7 days. Yeah, I actually like to check that. So I've never seen that before. All right, so security settings. Remove all offline data from this browser. Do not enable offline and shared in public systems. Yeah, let's keep that there. And offline uses, okay, so it uses information in your computer because it hasn't synced. Okay, that's fine. Save that. A load page is required. Say, okay, yeah, let's do that. That's a new option. I don't remember seeing that, but I actually like that option. So basically what this means is that you can actually read your email without having internet, and you can save it for the last 7 days, but it does take space in your computer. But then once it goes online, it syncs with the server, and that's that. I like that. Conversation view, let's do that. So let's do conversation view. So I do want to enable conversation view. I don't know what the default option is, but I like to make that enabled. And then when selecting conversation emails and actions, only the emails within folder, make that first one selected, and then sort conversation. So what I like to do is I like to have the oldest conversation on top, right there, click that on top. It might be like this, newest on top, but I like to do oldest on top, and that's that. So now what is conversation view? It's very simple. If I was to go to my inbox underneath the folders option, I'll show you how to move this around in a second in the way I like it. So let's say you email yourself like a bunch of times. Like here's an example of me emailing myself a lot of times right here. If I was to click on this right there, it shows a bunch of emails. Now this may look a little confusing. This isn't Gmail, but basically what this is this is an email that is here. And let me actually, if I click on this space right here, you see my mouse, now it closes up. So I actually have 4 different conversations going on. So this was the first email that I sent. If I can click this right here, this is a test to see if this works. So that's that. And then I replied to that, and I just clicked this open space right there. I replied to that and I said, what's good? That's how I replied. And then I got replied back and it says, hey there, what's going on? And then I replied to my own self again. And I said, reply to this. Like this is the message right here. So that's the message. That's the message. Sorry, that's the message right here. Boom, boom. But conversation view really, it's what happens when 2 people are sending emails back and forth with each other. It puts it into conversation view. If it was in regular email view, like for example, if somebody was emailing me and another person emailed me, another person emailed me, then these are 3 different emails. So I got an email from myself, this is an email from somebody else, and this is an email from somebody else. That's how it was like 3 different emails right there that is set. But in a conversation view, it actually like groups it all together like that. And you can see the number 4 right here, right next to where it says, hey there. You see the number 4, and right here is the number 2. That's the number of emails in the conversation. It's another way to group your emails. The order of it is, I like to have it the oldest email first, which is this top email, June 15th at 10:41 p.m. If I click in this open space right here, it opens up the email. If I click this open space right next to my email name, it closes it up. So that's the oldest, and then 10:42, 10:54, 10:56. So oldest first, newest last. So that's the way I like to have conversation view. So I know I'm talking about this for a little bit, but this part is confusing to a lot of people. So I did want to clarify how that works. But if you don't want this view, go back to settings, go to conversation, and you can turn it off. And if I turn off this view, if I do this, and now if I go back to my inbox, now you can see all the emails that was sent to me. So this was the first email sent to me, and then there's another email, then this is another email sent to me. So this is actually like the Gmail version, like the regular Gmail version. If you prefer it like this, then that's fine. I actually might prefer it like this, to be completely honest. I think Zoho did not have an option to have conversation view before, disabled. I'm not sure, but yeah, you can disable it or enable it. If you enable conversation view, that's how it looks like. If I enable it, go back to inbox, it shows the person you sent it to and the whole conversation that's going on. So that's that. But I think what I'm going to do for this video, actually, to be completely honest, let me go to conversation. I think I'm actually going to disable it. Let me disable it. If you really want it to look like Gmail and how the emails appear like that, I'm just going to disable that. And if I was to go to inbox and click it again, that's basically how it's going to be. Surprised Gmail haven't bought them yet. You know, usually Google will be buying these companies. Enough about conversation view. Done with that. Moving on. Folders. You can create a folder that you want that you can put on the side right here. So these are folders that you can add. You can also add a folder right here, I believe. Yeah, you can create a folder and you can do that. That's fine. You can do that. Boom, boom, boom. Let me go back to settings. I'm not going to add any folders right now, but you can. All right. Archive policy. I don't have any policies that's there, but that's what that is. Filters. So by default, these two might be selected, notification and newsletter. Let me see what happened. So let me save it. So let me actually enable this. Oh, there we go. Enable right here. Sorry, it's the new view. Gotta get used to this. All right, so these are probably enabled. If it's enabled, disable that. And what it does is that when you get new emails, it would automatically like put it into like your notification or your newsletter or notification folder. You can automatically do that. But I just like to put everything to my inbox and then I'll just move from there. It's kind of similar on Gmail where they have like the promotions tab and there's another tab. I can't remember what it was. Let me go back to filters. So this is basically what this is, the Zoho version of it. So that's that. I'll go in emails and filter suggestions. It even gives you a suggestion to do, but I'm going to disable both of them, make them off. All right, hotkeys. So these are like NL means nice to meet you. If you type in HPD, wish happy birthday. So you can do that, that's fine. Out of office, if you're out of office, subject, and then the time that you want to be out of office, it should be in 12-hour format, but I think this is a 24-hour format, and then the days, and then that's that. And then the other options that's there, boom, 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 yada, yada. So that's out of office if you want to have that. Let me move on. Anti-spam lists, you can have a list that you can allow and you can block. You can have domain names as well. You can have a list of people who are unsubscribed and all that, boom, boom. If you want to import or export emails, you can do that right here. That's fine. Send mail as. Now you can send your mail. If your name is different, you can change your name right here. That's your display name for outgoing emails. And that's your email address that you have, the end. And then sharing and delegation. Actually, that send mail as option is kind of important. So make sure your name is right. Sharing and delegation. So you can share your folders if you want. Mail accounts. This is the mail account that I have. I have one called support. I showed you in the previous video how to do that, how to get a support. That's one user. But you can have multiple users right here. This situation, this is actually not a user. This is actually another whole other mail account. But I'm not gonna have that. In the previous video, I do show you how to add users. If you wanna add another user, you basically will, I'm not gonna show you how to do it here, but you basically would go and click on your picture, and then you go to admin console, and then under admin console, you would go to users, and then you would add another user right there. In the previous video, I showed you how to do that. And then your signature. So this is what you send after your email. So this is actually pretty important. So you may have nothing here. To add a signature, you want to just click on plus, and you can add another signature right here. This is where you add a signature. So what I usually do is give my signature a name. So I would call this a second, I would say my main signature, which is what this is called right here. I actually call this my main signature. So that's what I did, but you can name it whatever you want. And in here, I pressed enter like 4 times, and then I did like 2 dashes right there. And then afterwards, I put my name. So for example, let me show you how to do it right here. So I did 2 dashes and I put my name and I put my position. So in this example, this is my company. And then afterwards, I put my website, if you have one. And then afterwards, I did an email. So E and then colon, and then I put my email. And then finally, I said, follow me on my social media. Mine is Instagram, the gram, all right? Then afterwards, associate email address. So by default, it should have your email address right there. If you don't see that, if you don't see your email address automatically set up or set, make sure that's selected. That's very, very important, because if you don't, it will not show whenever you're sending your email. But by default, it would have it. All right, then afterwards, what I would do is I will bold up my name, and then I will make the font 12, and then I'll bold that up like that, boom. As far as the website, I would highlight that, and then click on this down arrow for more options, look for where it says insert link, and then I will put my actual web address. And if you don't know what it is, then go to a website, click on the top, what you call copy it, and then paste it down there, boom, boom. So you want to do that on the web address. Select the text, keep that as it is. Boom, and then for your email, that's automatically like set, that's fine. And then follow me on Instagram. So then I will just go and highlight this, highlight Instagram, and then I will go on this down arrow, which is more options, the double down arrow, and then I will go to insert link. And then for the web address, I actually would go to my Instagram account. All right, so that's my Instagram, that's my username, it's Vic Oyedeji. And then from there, I will click it, right click, copy, go back there on the web address, right click, paste. And then that's what that is. That's there, boom, the end. From there, I will save, actually I will give it a name. I will say my main signature. Signature, and I say 2, because I already have one, and then save it up. All right, and so if I was to go to my main one, that's basically the same thing I just did. That's my second one. Let me actually go one space behind, update it. And so this is basically the same thing. But I have 2 signatures with the same address, so it's gonna take one away. So let me actually put my thing there. So now that is associated with my main signature, then my second one is gonna be gone, because I have 2. You're only supposed to have 1 with 1 email address. So let me actually remove this. This is basically how you make your signature, but you do want to have a signature. And do you want to show your signature replies? That's completely up to you. I say yes, but that's completely up to you. And then once that is done, hit update. And if you want to remove the signature, click on delete on the top right. All right, that is done. Then afterwards, you want to go to groups, and with groups, I don't have anything. That's done. And then finally, so if I was to go to mail and click on calendar on the top left, so make sure your time zone is the right time zone. That's actually very, very important. Calendar view, make sure the time format is 12 hours, if you want it to be 12 hours. And then that's that. Event settings, if you want to do all that, you can. But I think all of these, I don't change. I just keep this as it is. I don't change nothing here. I don't change a thing. Really, it's just a time zone. Make sure that it's the primary time zone. Your time zone is correct. So that's that. You want to check that option too. Go back to mail, and that's that. So that is the new view that shows with Zoho. And down here on the left side, the way I like to configure this is, I don't remember how it was by default. It might have been that views might have been like on the bottom, for example. So if that's the case, I actually like to move this above folders like that. Like on the left side, look for where the mouse changes to that little thing right there. And then there you can click and drag it and move it. And that's how you can move it. All right, so whenever you just check your email, don't worry about streams, don't worry about views. Views has all the messages. So if you want to see all your messages, just click on all messages on the views, and that's that. I actually like to look at my folders on the inbox, and then I'll just really just go from here. So this is like the regular Gmail, like look on the inbox and you have all your emails, and this is grouped by the month. I remember there was an option that shows how to group that by the month. And so all June messages will be here, then May, and boom, boom. All right, so that's what that is. If you want to send an email, I don't know if I ever showed how to do this on the previous video, but if you want to send an email, click on new mail, and then you can send an email to anybody you want to. Let me send an email to support@themobettalife, which is my wife's parent place blog. If I click on tab, this goes to support like that. Don't worry about that, that's fine. And then you say your subject. Hey, this is a test. This is a random subject. And then at the bottom, you say your message right here. This is a message to you. You can see now that the signature is down there. That's completely fine. And then I think that is it. If you want to add somebody, you can CC if you want. Boom, boom. That's there. And then you can just send your email right there, or you can send it later so you can reschedule it. You can do reminder options if you want. It automatically saves it, and then you can discard it. So just like Gmail, but now you have an email with your own domain name for free. All right, so if I was to do send, it's gonna say sending, it gives you 5 seconds. I can undo that, and if I undo it, it actually opens up a new window, and this is the message right here. If I was to click away from that, it goes into my drafts. Go to my drafts right here, select my message, opens up in a new tab, and I'll be able to finish this. And then let me go ahead and send it. And that is that. So that's really how you compose your emails. You send successfully, the window should close. There it goes. And now I have no more drafts. I have my inbox right there. And if I was to go to my sent folder, it shows this is what I sent. And that is that. We're all good. And so if I was to go to my other Zoho folder for the Mobile Life, this is just one of the emails right here, support@themobilelife.com. So if I was to go there and I was to click on inbox, now I got an email that is there, and that is what that is. Boom, boom, this is a message to you. That is the message that was sent from me, and that is that. And I think conversation view is open here too. This is another one. You can have as many of these as you want as long as you have an email with Zoho. Conversation view, let me actually turn it off and go back to my folders, and that's that. So this way I have streams, folders, and that's how I configure this. Okay, go back here. So streams, views, folders. You can put folders up here if you want to, above the views. It's all your preference. I might just do that because I really check most of my emails there. Streams, I don't do anything with streams, so don't worry about that. All right, and that is basically how you use it. If you want to log out, just go on the top right, which is my profile, where your picture is. You could definitely change your picture if you want, and then go to sign out. You are logged out of Zoho. Make sure that you save mail.zoho.com, and you are there and you are good. So now I'm going to show you how to do it on your phone. And now this is an old video that I did previously, but it still applies. Everything still applies, and we're going to be good. So I have an iPhone. You want to go to App Store, and you want to actually go to Zoho Mail. Go search, and then you want to type in Zoho Mail. So you want to get this app right there. Click that. And you want to get this one that says Zoho Mail, boom, boom. So click on install if you haven't installed it yet. But if you have installed it, click on open, and then you want to open it up. And this will now have your situation here. So let me actually log out of everything. All right, so now I'm logged out. So now let me sign in. So you can either sign up or sign in. If you already have an account with Zoho, just click on sign in. You already have an account, so click on sign in. And don't sign in with Apple, just sign in just with your account. All right, what we used here was we used the support at my domain name, but for now I'm gonna use actually my actual domain name. All right, and then let me put my password there. All right, so it's logged me in. So now I'm in my inbox right here. So now just like on the desktop or laptop, there was a bunch of settings. On a mobile device, there's some settings you gotta change too. If you're in the inbox, look on the bottom left, you see email and stuff like that. Let me actually click on the top left, that arrow that goes left, let me click that. So now this is really the home page of my emails. And if I click my name right there, that first hello, that's actually my username. So that's that, and now I can actually add more accounts. So I will show you how to do that in a little bit. But on the right side, it has the number of emails that is unread, and this is my email account right there. So you have streams, you have folders and views. Now I cannot remember 100% how this looks because I configured a lot of these actually. But let's go to some settings and I'll let you know what the settings are. And then if yours looks different on your phone, then just go ahead and adjust it. All right, on the bottom right, look for where it says settings. The settings icon, click on that. Now this is how you can now add another account. So if you have multiple accounts with Zoho, I can add it. So for me, I had that account support at the domain name I had, which is called waternewstore.com. Hit next and hit my password. All right, so now it's fetching my account information. So now that is my email right there. That's how everything is configured. If I go to my inbox right there, it shows the emails that I had so far, blah, 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 blah. All right, so let me actually get out of there. And if I was to go to settings, these are my email accounts that are here. So if I clicked on the top one, so these are all of the settings that's over here. If I click on this one, I'm not sure if the settings are the same. So let's do this right now. So first, let's go with settings and then go to user accounts. So on my first one where it says mail notification, go to enable notifications, make sure that's enabled. You can customize notification, but I don't have anything customized. I just enable notifications. And then your notification sound, you can change the sound. I put mine as sparkle, but you can definitely change yours. So anytime you get an email, if you're not on your app, and if you get an email, it will have a sparkle or whatever sound you have here. So you want to make sure that your notification sound right here is different. Conversation view, make sure that's enabled. Mark entire thread as read, turn it off. And then from here, you can just do only the emails within folder. I don't know what is already there, but you want to make sure that's checked. Streams, enable streams notification. I can turn those off because I don't use streams. But if you use streams, then you can leave that on. As a matter of fact, if you know what streams are, let me know, because I actually don't know what that is. Out of office, you can definitely change that settings if you want to. And then your signature. You can use a desktop signature, your mobile signature, or no signature. I like to use a desktop signature. That was the signature that I got with my desktop. That's completely fine. You can set your own mobile signature right here. It says sent from Zoho Mail on iPhone. I don't want to have that. I like to use desktop signature and call it a day. And then if you want to, you can sync your contacts by clicking the sync button right there if you want to. And your desktop settings, you can sync that. Now right here, sync other desktop settings. I actually do want to click that and make sure it syncs. So I do want to do that. So let me go back. And then from here, these are like app settings right here. So show thumbnail, so display senders, photo, and mail listing. I have mine off. I don't know what yours has, but I have mine off. The second option is group read emails or group read emails. I have those off. Auto fit messages, I have those on. Quick actions, okay, this shows you some things you can do. Swipe action for notification. I have mine is marked as red. So if you swipe it, it shows that it's red, but you can change that if you want. Upload resolution, I have mine at say 5%. Auto download images, I have mine as on. Let me see. Do I want to set this as my default mail app instead of Gmail? I'm not going to do that, but you can if you want. And in calendar, you can show events if you want to, but I'm not going to do that. And in your contacts, your display order, I think this is different than, what I have is different than I believe what your app has, if I remembered. Go to display order, and I like to do first name, last name. Not last name, first name, but first name, last name. That's my display order, and I like to sort it by first name. So that's what I have. All right. And then you can change the color of how you want your thing to be displayed, depending on your interests. Shake for dark mode, I have mine off. Fonts, language, that's what that is. Privacy settings, boom, boom. And that is it. So those are the things that you can change. And then from here, I can just click on support. And then once I do that, I can now change my email that I want to look at. So that is my company, that's my email. And now I can look at the emails underneath folders. I can look at all the emails that I have. I can read the conversations. And if I want to email myself or email somebody, I would just click on reply in the top right here, right next to my name, and then click on reply. And then I would say, who am I sending this to? So with Zoho, Zoho don't really tell you who's who, which is kind of weird. I actually just discarded that. I went back and I discarded it. So let me try it again. So to me, who's me? Okay, so it's going from support to my actual one. Okay, cool. So let me actually click on that, reply, and I would say, hey there, what's going on? Hit done. You can add an attachment. If you click on this thing right here, you can add an attachment, and then there's another option right here where you can do some things. But then I'm going to hit send, and now it is sent. Now for some reason for the app, I do want to mention that. So from the app, the conversation view is actually shows the newest first, then the oldest. On the desktop or laptop, it shows the oldest first, and it goes down to the newest. But on the phone, it goes to newest first and oldest. I don't know how to change that order yet. But yeah, so this is your conversation. And I did send myself an email. So let me actually open up. I remember sending myself an email. As you see, I have a new one. Go to inbox. That's it right there. And then, so that's all the messages that I have. And then within the message, I have 3, you see the number 3 right there. I have 3 conversations that's going on. If I click on this area right here, it closes it up. So this is actually my latest one right here. And then if I want to respond to that, I'll just click the reply right there and then hit reply and then reply to this. There's a lot of space underneath here. So let me actually remove that. Hit send. And so now the conversation has happened. And I will go, and now if I was to go back to my email, it shows that I have a new email on the folders, and that's what that is. And you can go back and forth right there, and that's how it is. And then obviously if you want to add a new email, you just go on the top right where it shows like that pencil, and you can just configure a whole new email right there, and that's what that is. Boom, boom. You can say to whoever. You can skip the CC, your subject, obviously what it is. You send your email, and that is that. Once you're done, hit send on the top right, and it sends your email, and that is that. And that is how you configured your Zoho Mail. And if I was to get out of here by just swiping up and getting out of here, there we go. This is the app right, where's my app? There we go. On the bottom left right here, that's the app right there, and you can just move it anywhere you want, and that's that. Woo! I know that was a lot to deal with, but you finally got it going. You have your mail set up with Zoho, so you have your email with your own domain name, and you now set up Zoho on your desktop and on your mobile devices, so you are all good. Check out the next video that I have either here or here. I always point it wrong. I think it's over here where the video is going to be. So check that out, and I will see you. Subscribe to this video, subscribe to Vicar ADG, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you when I see you.